Given the fact you had an extra man throughout that second half, how disappointed were you that you didn't ask more questions of Newcastle?
Yeah, very disappointed. I think we can be better as a team than we were tonight. So it's a lesson for us. At some point, we were going to lose a game of football, being on a good run and put ourselves in a decent position. You know, so it's one game. We'll definitely learn from it. We have to.
I thought Jacob Ramsey's sending off is really harsh. I don't think he's looking for a penalty. I think he's fallen over. I don't think he's trying to simulate and con the referee there. So I think that's really harsh. I think you've got to be really careful before brandishing yellow cards. There's been a lot of question marks about our defending recently, and rightly so. And I tried to present to the players at half-time a good opportunity to answer some questions on that. And I thought we did. We blocked shots really well. We condensed space. And we frustrated them and managed the game well as well. So that's good to see that returning in our game.
You listen to Eddie Howe, and it's difficult to disagree with him, really, on the yellow card. We'll praise Newcastle and how they defended in a moment, but just because you fall over doesn't mean you've dived.
He just loses balance, doesn't he, Ramsey? That's all it is. I mean, you see here when the ball goes through, makes a terrific run, and keeper may have touched him or but he just loses balance. It's as simple as that. It's not a second yellow card. He didn't deserve to get sent off, and it's as simple as that.
And he doesn't appeal for it, does he? I mean, that's the other thing. He sort of lies there and then gets up.
I think. Look, I'm all for punishing simulation.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing we can do. But that's harsh. That's something that he's not trying to get a penalty. He doesn't elaborate with the dive or accentuate his movement. He just loses his balance.
But boy, did they perform with 10.
Well, I think what was remarkable for Newcastle with 10 men was not just the way Eddie talked about the way they defended, but the way they went on the front foot. Now, this is just after the sending off. They would have been forgiven for dropping off and getting to half-time, but Anthony Gordon, nice and positive. He put himself about tonight. It's a brilliant run, and it's a penalty. And, of course, we know he's a good penalty taker. And that lifts everyone, gives you something to hang on to, makes half-time feel better. Second half, high up the pitch, didn't expect it, Ilanga. Winning the ball back, nice and strong, good determination. Again, that keeps the crowd with you and keeps everybody, enjoying the match. The reality is it's hard to do this physically. Impacts, you're going after them. You're taking a risk of getting played through, but it's a risk worth taking because they kept winning it back. Now, OK, they got to give a foul on that particular one. But even here, anticipating second balls, winning duels, being positive, going past people, getting set plays, which give them a chance to score goals. And then when they needed the keeper, I mean, what a save that is.
It's a great save, that.
Been brought back into the team and justified his selection. And this, to get a winner, Osula, who hasn't had many minutes, you know, he's a young lad, but he's got some talent, as we can see. It's nearly loses his footing, regains his composure. And when he comes in outside here, we were gobsmacked that he was managed to be able to whip it in from there. It's a wonderful goal. And he's not going to sleep tonight, by the way. Honestly, but when you score goals like that in last-minute games, you don't sleep very well.
But all that energy as well, and still on the front foot, when they are playing a lot more games than Manchester United.
And the crowd behind them was drawing them on. I thought they was excellent. But going to Manchester United, I feel as though they've done so well in recent weeks. And if you look at their 11, it's a very good. Then you start to look at the bench, and it doesn't have the same impact as well. So they've got the first bit right. Now, in the summer, they need to go recruit because I think the last time Carrick lost points is when they played 2 games in a week. Yeah. So it's showing that
was
maybe
at West Ham midweek.
They can't maybe deal with that, and the players that are coming on are not giving the same impetus. So that's something to look at for Man United.
Yeah, and I think also, sorry, just because I think Michael Carrick went to win the game. They lost it trying to win it. They did throw all forwards on.
Xerxes on and kept right, West Ham had a chance to climb out to the bottom 3. Fulham, Simon Brotherton was at Craven Cottage.
And men, did you expect more from your side tonight?
Yeah, we're not happy with the way we played the game tonight. I think it was the way the game panned out. I think we had in our hands largely, but credit to Newcastle. I thought the way they approached the game, I thought we knew it was going to be a tough game here, but we navigated the game to be in a position where we felt we should kick on, and we didn't really. So, yeah, bitterly disappointed.
Why can it be so tricky facing a side with 10 men?
I don't think it was the 10 men. I just don't think we we just didn't play good enough tonight. So we can't make any excuses for that. I think we all take responsibility for that, and we know.
You've shown so much character in a lot of your games so far. Why was that lacking?
It wasn't.
Okay.
It was just the quality and the performance. It wasn't character or wanting to win or anything like that. It's easy to throw that just because you don't win a game of football.
What was it about the performance that was lacking tonight then? What were you missing?
It was just general things. The quality, we weren't there, you know, and credit to Newcastle. They deserve to win tonight, so it hurts me to say that, but that's how it was, and we need to get back to working and be better for the next game.
Does it feel like a one-off game that you've had this really off day?
We've lost one game, all right, so we haven't played well enough, but in the grand scheme of things, we're in a decent position, you know, so tonight hurts because we don't like losing games, but we'll be better for the next one.
How do you ensure this then doesn't disrupt all of that good momentum that you've built up?
So you've got to get back at it and work hard and do the things that we did to win the games we've won, you know, and we can do that. We're a good team, we've got good players. Tonight wasn't for us.
Big game next at Old Trafford, and it's up against Aston Villa. You've got a 10-day break until that game. How do you plan to use that time with the team? Yeah,
just like any other week. We win a game, we lose a game. It doesn't change the feelings. Of course it does, and then we got to learn from it and we got to get better from it. But it's listen, we've had a lot of praise lately, and the boys deserved it. And tonight we're disappointed, but it doesn't change how we approach the next game. You know, we've got everything to play for, and we'll have a good week. We'll work hard, we'll learn, and we look forward to the next game.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Michael.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Michael Carrick not making any excuses tonight. He said Manchester United just weren't good enough. Is this where we really find out what he's made of as Manchester United boss, Owen? You know him because he's now got to respond to his first big setback.
Yeah, I mean, Carrick will be fine. He was calm as a player, and even there, he's calm as a manager. Jules asked him a tough question, and he says that, you know, I forgot what Jules said. Did you say attitude or something? And he said, no, it wasn't that. They just didn't play well, and that's what it was. You know, they didn't have the right from the off. I didn't think they had the right energy. I didn't think they used the ball very well. Even when Newcastle had 10 men, possession-wise, it was almost 50-50. When a team has one less player, you should see that. You know, you have to make the pitch big. Like Eddie said, they were going to come inside, give them the wide areas, so you should have a man advantage there. I don't think they were aggressive enough. I don't think they tackled enough. Only really in the last 10 minutes did they put a little bit of pressure on Newcastle, and it felt like a goal could come. But to be fair to Carrick, you know, he's been brilliant since he's come in today. Thought against West Ham, they were a little bit flat.
Do you think that's been coming, that result,
possibly,
in the last couple of performances?
But you know what, they've been finding a way to win games differently, and I think that's been a credit to Michael and the coaching staff and the players that, you know, the first two were on the counter and then they dominate possession a little bit, then they get some late winners or late equaliser, and I thought today it felt like they expected to win, and they just thought it would happen, and I thought Eddie and Newcastle did a really good job of getting after Man United early. They were very aggressive, they pressed them. I thought they used the ball very well, and I just thought United just didn't have that fluidity with the ball, and I didn't think they were aggressive enough without it. And I'm sure Michael will say to the boys, look at the clips, and then they'll be better for it. That game against Aston Villa next week is massive, because that you think about what Chelsea did today at Villa Park, and you see the fixtures coming up. I mean, that 3-4-5 race is going to be massive. And for these teams, you think about Villa, Chelsea, Man United, Champions League football is almost everything at the moment.
Why do you think they weren't able, Shay, to take advantage of the man advantage that they had for the whole of the second half?
I don't know. I think especially in forward areas, they lacked a bit of a spark. I was saying to Owen off air a wee bit that Bruno wasn't involved. He was involved a lot more towards the end of the game, but whatever way Newcastle set up didn't allow him to sort of get on the ball so much and dominate, you know, the possession as he's done. But what I would say on the Man United thing is they've lost a game of football. It's not the end of the world. I think Michael Carrick spoke really well after the game. You know, you don't want to sort of media pile-on now. He's not the right man for the job after one defeat. This is the Premier League. This is St James's Park. This is a tough place to come at the best of times. And Newcastle had a huge response tonight. So again, as they keep level heads, where they're at from where he took over the football club, sitting in third in the Premier League, like, so it's not all doom and gloom after one result. Michael, as Owen rightly says, will have to lift the team. He's got 11 days, I think he said, before the next game. He's got plenty of time work on a game plan for the next game, but just sort of keep calm heads. I think with the manager and maybe the people, the powers that be as well.
You two are the coolest guys in St James's Park, just trying to keep everything calm.
Not easy, it's not easy.
Well, up to the missions, guys. What a sensational goal, Will, for the winner. What was that feeling like when you saw that hit the back of the net?
That was like the best feeling ever. I was so happy for that. You know, when I came on, I just prayed I was going to score and make something happen, and thank God that happened.
You did so well to keep the ball in. Was there only one thing on your mind after that?
Straight away. I was practicing that in the finishing yesterday in training. Any chance, cut in and finish it. So I'm happy the hard work paid off.
And bundles in the corner when you went to celebrate?
I got crowded. Yeah, it was top.
Aaron, what was your view of that goal from your end of the pitch?
I just carried on running, almost fell over, and then I just saw the net ripple, and I did a knee slide on my own over there. So,
oh yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, so but I'm delighted for him. You know, he's got every attribute. He needs to believe in himself a bit more, but he's shown it tonight, and he's won us a game.
Couple of big saves from you tonight as well. How was it?
Really enjoyable, yeah. I've had opportunities which, you know, it's been tough to get this year, and hopefully today I've helped with this man to get the 3 points, and about kicking on, and we wanted to be resilient, and with 10 men, well, we may as well have 13 men with the crowd tonight, and it's been an excellent night for us.
It's your first league start since Boxing Day. When did you find out you were starting?
This morning. So yeah, you know, I've been preparing the whole time. You know, the manager spoke to me then and just said it's a credit to how I've worked in the weeks after training, whatever. So I was always ready. And obviously to come in tonight and help, that's my job, and I'm delighted for that.
And down to 10 men to be able to come on in this game, score the winner as well. What was the messaging from Eddie Howe at half-time when you came out here? Because you seem the better side.
Yeah, obviously when I got told what to do when I come in was to come and have an impact and, you know, try and make us win the game. So, yeah, glory to God, that's what happened today.
After 3 games here without a win at St James's Park in the league, you've now got this massive victory tonight ahead of Man City in the FA Cup on Saturday and Barcelona here next week, Tuesday as well. Just how big is this tonight?
Yeah, massive. And, you know, I think I've seen a stat. We haven't had a free midweek since the November international break. At times we've been down to bare bones. At times we've been working as hard as we can, haven't got the results. Tonight we have, and like you say, we've got some huge games to look forward to, and that's what the fans want, what we want as players. We ain't complaining about it, but we've got to stand up and be counted for now.
Guys, enjoy the celebrations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, what a night it was for the Geordies here, Shay. And that noise at the end, they've been waiting a long time for that, because 3 games without a win here is a long time for these fans. It's been such a fortress.
Yeah, we talk about the atmosphere all the time, don't we? And the last 3 home games have been disappointing. So it was huge to get that win. Actually, the end of the first half today was hectic, and the end of the second half was hectic. It was, if you look at in the cold light of day, I'm sure when Eddie looks back at it, Newcastle deserved the victory 100%. Even with 10 men, they looked the better team, and I'm sure Eddie's extremely proud for his performance.
And we can ask him himself. Here is Eddie Howe. Congratulations, Eddie. Good to see you. Shay was just saying about how much you deserved that victory tonight. How much did you need that? How much did St James's Park need that?
Yeah, I think we all needed it. I think Shay knows better than anybody the sort of the healthy pressures that you face here. You know, our recent form in the Premier League's not been what we want it to be, so we knew the importance of today's game, and even more so probably with the sending off. It turned into a really famous victory for us, I thought.
What can you say about that goal from Will Osula, and what did you say to him when he came on?
I said to him, well, I gave him his tactical instruction, but it's funny, I was just saying to Will afterwards that Will worked on this with me and the coaches. I'm not taking any credit for it. Will deserves all the credit.
Take it, Eddie, take it.
No, because everybody had gone in, and he went, I want 10 more balls. And it's an actual mirror image of the goal that he scored. And I think I'm a great believer in the coaching process, but you need the players that want to improve. And Will's got a real great thirst for his own individual development. And that when you see someone put the work in and then deliver what he's delivered there in a key moment, I'm full of praise for him.
Because he's missed quite a bit of football with injury this season from November to January. Did that kind of feel like a bit of a coming of age moment for him in a Newcastle shirt?
Yeah, because I think he sort of made that step before, and then he got injured just at the time when we felt he was going to really push on. He's got all the attributes. He's big, 6'3", he's good in the air, he's strong, quick, and he can finish. So hopefully that's a second coming for him, and he doesn't get any more injuries and can stay fit, because he's got all the potential to be anything he wants.
I was just going to say, well, before the break I said about when Ramsdale made that unbelievable save, you know, that was a point. I thought, guaranteed, I didn't expect Will to go up the other end and score the winner, but again, it was a big call before the game. We didn't speak to you about it. You know, I suppose I'm not saying it's justified, because I know Nick Pope's a great goalkeeper as well, but you know, it's a big moment like that. That save, especially that one into the top corner, was world class from Ramsdale.
Yeah, I thought he did really well today. I mean, the saves speaks for themselves, but I thought he gave us good control with his feet as well.
Yeah.
He's an experienced goalkeeper, England international. This won't faze him. This is an opportunity for him. And you're looking for people, whatever position they play, to grab the opportunity. And we probably haven't done that well enough in recent weeks, but he can hold his head up today and know that he's put in a great performance.
Yeah. He said he was ready. He found out this morning that he was starting. When did you make the decision?
Probably this morning, really. I mean, I think you always have an inkling maybe for what you're going to do in the next game. But I like to sort of check myself and make sure I'm doing the right thing for the team. I felt, yeah, it's an unbelievable save. Looks better there than it did live. But I felt it was right. He deserved his opportunity. I think he's been training really well. I always look at training as a great gauge for how I think they're going to play when players get the opportunity in the team, and I'm delighted for him personally as well.
What was the second half game plan with 10 men? Because I guess the biggest compliment you can have is that it was hard to know who had 10 men in the second half.
Off the ball was to be compact, give them the wide areas, a lot of sliding and shuffling across, making sure we had good distances between our three units, and to try and be a counter threat and still a threat in behind. I still think, even though you have 10, you've got to try and give the opposition a problem. I felt we did that. The players delivered it really well, slowed the game down to a degree. We didn't want it sort of end to end. We wanted to play with real structure and just try and wait for a moment. We're really relying on set plays or counter attacks, and thankfully we got one we will at the end.
There was a lot of anger from the crowd in here at half-time. What was your view on the sending off, with Ramsey being sent off for simulation?
Yeah, I thought it was really harsh. I think you've got to be really clear that the intent is to dive to win a penalty, and I think he's fallen over rather than tried to dive and con the referee. I think he's just lost his footing. The first one there, that's probably a yellow card. But I don't think, knowing JJ as I do, I don't think he's that kind of lad. And I think he's actually sort of lost his footing more afterwards, maybe anticipating contact.
Yeah, I think, to be fair to myself, Shay, Ali, everybody thought it was probably harsh. I think maybe because he goes down after taking a couple of steps, maybe they think he's dived when he probably really hasn't. Like you said, he probably anticipated the contact, didn't he? But you must have been so proud of the players. I thought off, you just had more energy. You got after United, pressed them. And really, you were probably quite unlucky even the first half. Even actually second half, you probably even better with 10 men, which was quite remarkable at this level.
Yeah, I thought we did really well in the first half. I thought we were quite fluid with the ball. We were back to combining and playing as a team, playing in partnerships. So I was really pleased, apart from the last bit. I felt we deserved the goal lead at half-time, and we sort of had that, and then they scored from a free kick, which I personally didn't think was a free kick either. So it was one of those days where very easy for the players at half-time maybe to feel sorry for themselves, especially after the recent run we've been on. But I think it was real collective mental strength to regroup and produce a second half that we did.
And what can this result, this performance give you going into such a tough run of games?
Yeah, I think we needed it. We spoke before the Everton game that we wanted to go into the period of games that we had coming up in really good form, and I think we'd won 4 out of 5. There was a good feel, and then that game comes and we leave with the opposite feeling. So it's really important we grab some momentum back, and we want to enjoy the games that we've got coming up. We want to perform and we want to try and win them. You're only going to do that if you're playing well. So today's a big step to helping us do that.
Eddie, thanks for coming out to join us. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Nice.
Enjoy that one tonight.
All the best. Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, hugely significant, Shay. What do you think it can give them heading into that Manchester City game in the FA Cup at the weekend?
The key, as we spoke with Thierry beforehand, he was very calm about the dip in form here at home in the Premier League. He just beat Man United, with the last kick of the game with 10 men for a large part of for all the second half, and he's still very calm. So I think he'll prepare for Man City at the weekend in a calm sort of manner as well, as best he can. Depends who's fit, who's injured and all that kind of stuff. But I just think he always seems to get the message right. You know, he never seems to get too high or too low in anything, and I think that's a great trait of a brilliant manager. And again, the fixtures come thick and fast now. It's Man City, then Barcelona, so they're really, really tough. But again, the boost, even Eddie himself, he maybe didn't show it so much there, but the boost he'll get and the team will get from today's performance will be massive going into them games.
And great, Owen, to hear him talking about Osula wanting extra training, extra balls, and then seeing that pay off in a game.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well, obviously, with the situation with Baltimore or Vissa even, there's an opportunity there, I think, for somebody to step in and play. But I thought every call he made today came off beautifully. Obviously, the crowd were right up front and start, but I thought the boys, the team played terrific with the ball and without the ball. And that will give him a lot of confidence going into these games. I know the massive games against top opposition, but I think that performance today, especially with 10 men, I think it will give the whole group confidence. They can beat anyone when they're at their best.
Yeah. Give them belief, won't it, going into that run of games? Well, we're going to take a quick break here.